Hello viewers, welcome to our program on Immigration and You. I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulwani, and once again we have with us attorney David Nachman, my law partner.
Thanks very much, Michael.
David, welcome.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. Namaste.
So, are you tired after the trip to IFA? How was your trip?
I'm still catching up, Michael.
The magic movies and awards night and meeting all the people that we did.
It was quite an event. We got to walk the green carpet and spend time with our clients, their friends, made new friends, which was always delightful. Tampa was terrific, and we were so well received by the administration in the city. It was really it was just a terrific event.
I'm glad you enjoyed. So next year also I'll take you to another IFA event.
Oh, okay. Great.
Okay, let's go to business now. Let's talk about the cutoff dates for the month of May 2014. In the family first preference, which are the unmarried sons and daughters of the US citizens, advances by 2 weeks to March 8, 2007. The family 2A category, which are the spouses, that's the husband or wife or children under the age of 21 who are unmarried, the F2A category, unfortunately did not move, and the date remains the same, September 8, 2013. The family 2B category, which are the unmarried sons and daughters of the green card holders over the age of 21, is a very good news. It advances almost 13 weeks for all the countries to February 1, 2007. And the family third preference, which are the married sons and daughters of US citizens, also pretty good, advances by 6 weeks to September 1, 2003. And the fourth preference, the brothers and sisters of US citizen category, advances by 2 weeks to December 8, 2001. Now in the employment preference categories, the first preference is current for all the countries. The second preference, which is for the advanced degree holders, is current for most of the countries except India. Unfortunately, no movement for India. Date remains the same, November 15, 2004. And the employment third preference, which are the professionals and skilled workers for most of the countries other than India, there is no movement, but the date still remains at October 1, 2012. India somehow, that category moves by 2 weeks to October 1, 2003, and same thing for the other workers, E3 is also 2 weeks advance movement to October 1, 2003. The employment fourth preference, special immigrants, which include religious workers, is current for all the countries, and the employment fifth preference, which are for the investors of $1 million or $500,000, is also current for all the countries. Now, I have some, with your permission, I have some information about how they are looking at the coming months.
Okay, the predictions, right? Okay.
The predictions are,
I think before, Michael, before you mention the predictions, which also I think I'll add to a little bit.
Sure.
One thing I'd like to do is to just make sure that our viewing audience is aware that we want to wish you all a very, very happy Mother's Day. Today this weekend is Mother's Day, obviously on Sunday. So of course we want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. And also, I guess that comes out of the fact that mothers, you mothers out there, in addition to you fathers, are petitioners. So we want to recognize the mothers as being very important petitioners, and we want to recognize you for this very special day. So happy Mother's Day to all of our viewers.
और आप सभी माताओं को हमारे तरफ से मदर्स डे की शुभकामनाएं एंड हम उम्मीद रखते हैं कि आप सब लोग अपने माँ को याद करेंगे और यहाँ हैं तो आप उनको ले जाएंगे डिनर के लिए, ट्रीट करेंगे। और अगर आपकी मदर इंडिया में है या और कंट्रीज़ के अंदर है तो उनको फ़ोन कीजिएगा, उनको विश कीजिएगा। ये एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है कि उनके पेरेंट्स को हाउ हैप्पी दे बिकम। Mother's Day is a new concept that started in US, but some people are following in India as well, I can tell you. But it's a nice thing. Take your mother out for dinner, treat her with something she remembers. I don't know, the way the life is here, David, we are all so busy and many people don't even have a time to even talk to the mothers and for a lot of times. But this one day at least comes which reminds them, today is the Mother's Day, and I should do something for my mother.
Exactly. Pick up the phone, show your respect, give mom a call, and tell her how much you love her.
Thank you. Okay.
Next thing I wanted to just mention, Michael, because I do want you to go on with the predictions,
Yes.
is that the predictions I believe that Michael is going to give right now come out of a meeting that was held by Charles Oppenheim, who is the person who is in charge at the U.S. Department of State of issuing the visa bulletin. And there was a meeting held with him on May 1st, and he was very clear about certain things that would be happening with regard to the visa numbers in the future, and that's what I think Michael is bringing to your attention.
Correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's a little confusing, but here's what I have. The family 2A category, which is the spouses of green card holders and unmarried sons and daughters under the age of 21 of green card holders, something happened a few months ago where they advanced right away, almost current. It became September 8, 2013, which was a great news.
Right.
A lot of people got advantage of that, and that was a wonderful news. But now they are saying that there are a lot of 485s being filed, and this is likely that these numbers may retrogress, go back to 2012 maybe in June or July.
Right.
What that means in June or July, but in the month of May, still if you have a I-130 petition filed or approved, which has a date prior to September 2013, and you are in the US, you want to adjust, you must file before May of 31st. And that is one good piece of advice we can give you. Make a comment on that?
Well, I think that the only thing I want to say, Michael, is that Department of State basically said that they believe the category will continue to advance because the demand seems to be low. However, they're saying that as the demand continues to pick up, the priority dates are going to move forward and the progression is going to decrease.
Exactly.
So essentially what it is, as Michael pointed out, is, for lack of a better way to describe it, because we try to keep things simple, is supply and demand. The more demand you have, the less the supply, and what ends up happening is that these numbers start to slow down, and then, unfortunately, in some categories, as they are predicting in the FB2A classification, that there may potentially be retrogression.
See what happened when this category advanced so much in advance. A lot of people in the pipeline, when their petitions got approved and they were able to process, and they say 85 to 95% of these cases are visa processing. Right. So I think this Oppenheimer's prediction that I saw, it does mention about maybe it's always a possibility.
Yeah.
It may go back to some time in 2012.
Exactly.
In the next coming months. So this is a good piece of advice that if you are in a situation where your petition was filed before 2013 August, and you are here and eligible for adjustment of status, take proper action.
Exactly.
Okay. F2B category, which they said the demand is down now, so it is likely that this may advance it for the next few months, but if there is a more demand, it may even go back later on. So the coming few months, probably that will advance, continue to advance at least, which is
exactly. Yep.
Let's talk about the other category. We don't have predictions on F1 or some other categories, but I'm only talking about what Oppenheimer said about some of these categories.
Exactly.
The EB5, which is the investment category for $1 million or $500,000, is current at the present time. But there's also an increase in the number of EB5 cases being filed, especially from China, and they believe that sometimes in the near future, there may also be a cutoff date for that. By the way, the information I have, 80% of EB5 cases are coming from
Chinese.
China.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fantastic. Also, although I see that even in India, I mean, there was a time that when we used to tell people, if you have money, $500,000 to invest, you can get a green card. Say, okay, let's see, think about it. I mean, the dollar rate at that time was almost 35, 36 rupees, and they were still hesitant.
Right.
Now it is almost 60 rupees. And now I have seen some increase in the number of people that are going for
Doing
the
EB-5,
EB-5,
yeah.
because EB-5 is current now, and anybody who invests money and goes under this category is likely to get the green card in about 18 to 20 months or so. So let's see how it goes, but at least right now it's current. And
Yeah, and I think, Michael, also the large amount of Chinese EB-5s has to do with the fact that you have Chinese brokers who are selling, and of course the language gap requires them to create a bridge between the United States and China. And so what they do is they act as that bridge, and so they're able to bring that
Exactly.
work to the foray. Now, I think that what will happen over time is as these gaps are bridged, there will be increased EB-5 from other countries.
see, that some other factors play a role also. For example, in India, a lot of people who have the money, business people and all that, their children are here in the school or the colleges, and they like to remain here.
Right.
And therefore, the parents, they say, I mean, I actually know about a case where the father is a multi-millionaire, and he told the dad that you can, when you go there, you may leave millions of dollars for me there, but I am more interested to settle now in the US. So if you want to do something for me, do it now. Put in $500,000, get me a green card, and that's the best gift that I will ever have from you. A real story.
Right.
So things like that affect the increase in the number of EB-5 cases.
Of course.
Okay, talk about EB-1.
Okay.
Now, EB-1 is for the people who are extraordinarily qualified, and this is current now. And again, there is some feeling that going forward, the number of EB-1 has been increasing, as you know also. A lot of people moving from EB-2 to EB-1.
Right.
Everybody is looking at options. If the waiting time is 6 years, 7 years in EB-2 and a 3, what can we do in EB-1? Is it possible? And right now EB-1 is current, but with the number increasing, looks like there may be in the future a cutoff date for EB-1 as well. So if you are, let's say, eligible for EB-1 visa and still want to get a green card under that faster, you should not wait too long, because then there may be waiting periods in the
Exactly.
as well.
Yep.
EB-3, they say it's likely to advance very slowly from India. Now, how slowly can it be? My God, right now it is October 1, 2003, but it says not only slowly, it may also further retrograde.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
that's the bad news. That's the bad news. A lot of our viewers are in that category, but hopefully we'll see what can happen.
Yeah, they're actually projecting that retrogression may occur in June of 2014. So that's when that retrogression may occur.
And now very good news for EB2 India. EB2 India, the prediction is a good news and a bad news.
Right.
No, what's a good news? That
Is
in the very
the
near
progression,
future,
yeah.
it may go right up to
January of 2008.
So imagine, it's going to jump from November 2004 to 2008.
Right.
But soon after that, because they know, once they move 4 years,
Well,
a lot of,
It's going to be inundated with adjustment
and then within
applications. So,
2,
yeah,
3, 4 months,
that's right.
then they may have to have, again, a retrogression going back.
Right.
So, but let's talk a couple of minutes on that. So a lot of our clients are waiting already who may have a priority date of 2005, 6, 7, remember, in August 2007. Many people applied for I-140 and 485. They got a permission to work, permission to stay. But then, because the visa numbers went back, they have been still waiting in line for a long time. And if this happens, so in the 2 or 3 months or 4 months, whatever period it remains in 2008, they should push to get their cases completed during that period. It's something that a good piece of advice that
Of course, if they can.
if they can.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go
Well,
talk to their lawyers, push them.
Right. Well, I think the key, of course, is to file the adjustment, because at least what they'll do is they'll be able to take advantage of the benefits. They'll get the adjustment case filed, they'll get their work authorization, they'll get their travel document, and while they'll be in abeyance until the priority date becomes current, if they retrogress, at least they've done something to preserve their place.
Yeah, we don't have too much time, so a couple of small pieces. And then in the next program, we are going to tell you more about comprehensive immigration reform and detailed information that we have. A question comes all the time from students. Foreign students, people come from India or other countries. They want to go to school or college. but they pay a much higher fees as against people who are citizens, green card holders, they are living here. And that is one of the reasons also that kids that are going to school here or college here want to become green card holders. Again, I'm going to EB5 category or some other categories.
Well, I think, Michael, what you're talking about has to do with the fact that certain states have made concessions for DACA students, and that they will be able to take advantage of in-state tuition.
Especially the DACA ones. Okay.
Exactly.
Running out of time, David, thank you very much for being on the program.
Always a pleasure,
Once again,
Michael.
we remind you about the Mother's Day and do what you can for your mom. And we take leave from you for today. We hope that you will enjoy our program and found it very fruitful and useful. Please keep watching us every Saturday and Sunday only on ITV. And